Hey there,
Hi.
It's us again. So a few weeks ago, I went round to Carrie Hope Fletcher's house for a DMC, and we spoke about smoking, who she goes to for advice, and what clique she was in at school.
But what we want to know is, how would you say no to a friend who offered you a cigarette? Check out this extended, exclusive DMC now.
As you might have gathered, I'm here with Carrie Hope Fletcher in her very house, on her very bed, in the very room that she does what she does. Hi.
Hello.
We're about to have a DMC. How do you feel?
No, good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to start by reading out some viewers' comments that they've been sending in their millions. You ready?
Yep.
We had Joanna Elvira who says, what's the first thing you do every morning and the last thing you do before you go to bed?
The first thing I do every morning is drink a glass of water.
Ooh.
And the last thing I do before I go to bed is get the glass of water.
I feel like that's a deep comment that you've just made.
Yeah.
It's not at all. It's healthy.
It could be a deep comment. There could be a hidden meaning there somewhere.
We'll get there. So, were you confident at school?
Towards the end of school I was. I still am the biggest worrier, but back then I was just ridiculous. I'd cry at anything. Like, forget my homework, I'd cry.
Okay. What was the whole experience of school like for you?
It was a good one in the whole. I look back on like my high school years especially with like very fond memories, and I made a lot of friends and got to do a lot of things that, you know, have impacted my life now. But I mean, as everyone does, everyone goes through sort of rough times that aren't as fun. There are a few girls at my school who liked to make everyone feel inferior and inadequate, but I was away a lot when I was at school because I used to do auditions and acting and stuff, and when I came back to school everyone had kind of formed their own little groups and I just kind of had to find my way around and just make friends with whoever wanted to be my friend rather than kind of forcing my way into a certain group. So because I was always on my own a lot, I was an easy target.
Right, yeah.
And so yeah, there were a couple girls who took advantage of that.
Were there any points when you were growing up where you kind of felt like you were under peer pressure to do things you maybe didn't really want to do?
Definitely. There were three girls in my school that were very much like the three girls in Mean Girls. They were exactly like them, and everything that they did, I knew to do the opposite because whatever they were doing, they were definitely going to be in trouble for it. So it was kind of like a clear sign for me that what they did, I didn't do. But every now and again, they did try and get me into what they were doing, and it was just a very obvious no.
But that's difficult. How do you find the confidence to do that?
Well, it probably helps that I didn't like them, but when it's your friends, it's very different because you want to support them and you want to like what they're doing and you want to be involved in everything that they do. So when it's your friends, I do have friends that that smoke a lot and started smoking when they were a lot younger, and they invited me along to do that, and it was kind of this in my head dilemma where I was kind of feeling like, is this something that every adult looks back at their kid years and kind of thinks, I remember when I first tried a cigarette, and is that something that I have to experience? Is that something that I have to go through just to have that story kind of thing? But I decided that it was okay not to ever try a cigarette. That was a fine thing. No one's gonna judge me for not doing that. If anything, they're going to respect me more when I'm older for being like, whoa, you've never tried a cigarette? That's amazing.
I know, growing up, it's difficult to know who to talk to about your problems. For me, it was actually my older brother. He's 11 years older than me.
Oh, man.
So he was one to always go to. But what if it's about awkward stuff?
Well, nowadays, I've got kind of really close-knit friends who, again, are all male. I think going to an all-girls school got to be a bit. But so I usually kind of talk to them about it because, again, they're not judgmental in any way. But I do talk to my mum about the awkward stuff. It's one of those things where it feels really awkward, but you've just got to suck it up and do it.
I couldn't do that.
Really?
No.
Oh, see, I've really built myself up to conversations before where I know there've been something awkward. Like, it's taken me like a week or so just to be like, this is a conversation I have to have. It's got to happen, whether I like it or not. And I've just got to get out of the way. And every time I have the conversation, it's fine. My mum's always just like the best person.
Oh, that's so
She's amazing.
good.
Like, whenever we've talked about kind of awkward stuff, She's like, Carrie, I was there. I had to have this conversation as well with my mum, and it was really weird.
Would you say talking to parents is a good thing?
I think it is. I really do think it is. I feel like communication is so underrated these days because everyone feels that awkwardness so much, especially nowadays. I feel like everyone being online and kind of excluding themselves from actual interactions, the awkwardness is now heightened. So everyone kind of makes it sounds awful kind of saying they make it a bigger deal than it should be.
Well, yeah, we've drawn too much attention to the whole awkward thing.
Yeah, by making it a thing,
yeah,
it's drawn so much attention to it that everyone feels like that's what they should be doing and that's what it's okay to be awkward. And it is okay to be awkward, but it's not okay to stay awkward. You've got to break out of that awkwardness.
Ooh.
I know, oh man, this really is a deep, meaningful conversation.
Let's end it on that.
Right.
How do you feel about that?
That was good, I enjoyed that.
Yeah?
I feel like I've been cleansed.
Good.
Thank you,
Cool.
I know.
Don't forget to leave your advice on what you would do if your friend offered you a cigarette.
You can let us know on Facebook, Twitter or YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe.
God, those were great ones, Zeus.
Really good.